You've been losing gunfights you should be winning, and it's not because your aim is bad. What's actually happening is Siege is quietly punishing those small habits you don't even think about, and those habits stack against you every single round. Most players assume going negative means they need better mechanics or more aim training, and that's wrong. The real issue is decision making before the gunfight even starts. So in this video today, I'm going to break down the exact habits that's costing you kills, and how better players avoid them so they win more 1v1s without ever touching their settings. Now, one of the fastest ways to lose fights in Siege is sprinting everywhere like you're late for something. Sprinting might feel harmless, but every time you do it, you're choosing a slower ADS time, worse reaction time, and zero readiness if someone appears on your screen. And with the newer season changes, sprinting is an even bigger penalty than it used to be. If you're anywhere near your sight, a choke point, or a position where an enemy could be, sprinting is actively working against you. Walking, pre-aiming, and staying ready instantly gives you an advantage most players throw away without even realizing it. Now let's say you mastered not sprinting in crucial moments. Usually players make another mistake. They panic under pressure. Getting droned, hearing footsteps, or knowing an enemy is close triggers this instinct to act immediately. But pressure in Siege doesn't mean that you need to rush. It means you need to control. Bad players speed up because they're uncomfortable, and good players on the other hand will slow down because they trust their decisions. So taking an extra second to think instead of full swing blindly is often the difference between throwing around and clutching it for your team. And this is actually where quick peeking starts to matter. Siege rewards information more than aggression, and quick peeking lets you gather that information without exposing your entire body and dying. So instead of wide swinging and praying to God that you get a kill and don't die, better players actually quick peek and bait shots and fight on pixel angles more. The smaller your exposure to an angle, the higher your chance of surviving that fight. So quick peeking is definitely a skill you should be practicing and trying to perfect as you keep playing Siege. Now let's talk about after engaging in one gunfight. Most players immediately reload, and that's exactly when they die. We all know Siege is a one-shot headshot game, which means you don't need a full magazine to win the next fight. Now with the current reload mechanics, canceling a reload leaves you with one bullet, which is basically a death sentence. Winning one gunfight doesn't mean you're immediately safe, so you need to stay ready. Reposition first and then reload when you actually have time. And at higher levels, these players don't rely on reaction time alone, they rely on prediction. So pre-firing feels wrong at first because you're shooting before you see someone and it looks like you're just shooting at nothing. But this is always going to give you an immediate advantage. If you hear movement, then expect someone to swing. If you or someone else on your team just got a kill, expect a refrag to come immediately. And if that's a common angle or a doorway that you just killed an enemy from, then you should be pre-firing it. This is going to save you health and force enemies to react to you. And it even turns these 50-50 fights that you take into favorable ones for you. Now, all this positioning and decision making in the world does not matter if your bullets don't go where you actually want them to. Crosshair placement only works if you can actually control the weapon that you're using. So instead of switching guns constantly or picking stupid guns like the F2 and trying to take long range gunfights like your Bolo, learn the recoil patterns of the ones you use the most. Use the shooting range or map training until controlling recoil becomes automatic for you. When your gun does exactly what you expect it to do, gunfights become simpler and faster, and you're going to get more kills. Now, Siege's perspective and peeker's advantage catches a lot of players off guard. If you're standing still holding a wide angle, the enemy's going to see you before you see them, which is why it feels like you died to literally a ghost. So unless you're holding a really tight pixel angle, anchoring yourself in one spot is usually a mistake. And when you do decide to swing, make sure you swing with confidence. Hesitation is what's going to turn those winnable fights for you into instantly getting smoked. And like mentioned before, and we all know this, Siege is a one-shot headshot game, which means your crosshair should live at head level all the time. Too many players complain about losing gunfights when they're aiming at someone's chest or waist or looking at their shins. Even when nothing is happening, your crosshair should already be where someone's head could be. And this is a habit that's going to massively improve consistency without any mechanical changes in your game. And this goes into talk about positioning as well. Where you stand on the map matters more than people realize. Standing in the middle of the room or proning in an obvious spot in the bomb site is going to remove your options, and it's going to get you smoked every time. Good positioning gives you cover, escape routes, off angles, and timing advantages on the enemy. So now before taking any gunfight, ask yourself, is this position going to give me the advantage against this person? And if you don't think it does, then move to a different spot. There's no reason to throw rounds by choosing convenience in a dumb spot than choosing strategy itself. Now at the end of the day, Siege rewards experience more than raw talent. The more situations you've seen, the more experience you have, the calmer you'll be. The calmer you are, the better your decisions become. And making better decisions wins gunfights. This game is brutal for new players, so stop beating yourself up if you don't pick everything up right away. Focus on fixing habits, getting reps, and learning from the mistakes. If you apply what you learned in this video, you'll start winning more gunfights immediately. And that's not because you magically improved, but because you stopped sabotaging yourself and actually learned something.